Again, just got Riggs down for his afternoon nap. And I'm in the middle of doing this little tube repair job. And I thought it'd be kind of interesting to show you how I straighten these after I weld them up. Now you might be thinking to yourself that these things are pretty straight when they come off the turntable. Sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. The problem that I have is the cuts that I make for them are usually pretty rough, so a lot of times the end piece, it'll move up and down, left and right, wherever it wants to go as it's going around on the turntable. So it's not a perfect world, and you just have to tap them around a little bit. So I thought I'd show you guys my basically a little hack that I do to straighten these up. And it's not exactly perfect, but it does work really well, and I really hope you'll be able to use this for something in the future. And basically, this is my whole setup. It's just a V-block with the hold down on it and a hammer. But really, the biggest thing with this little trick is just like the welding puddle on where do you look? Where do you look at when you're spinning these things around on a V-block? Let's show you. So when you're using these V-blocks, if you have the hold downs, you use that to apply pressure to the tube as you're spinning it. That way you know you're parallel to the V-block's base. And when you look across the tube, you need a little extra thing, and this is kind of the secret, is you need a parallel plane to look at as you're spinning the tube around. So now with that orange bin in the background, you can look at that top lip, and as you spin the tube, you see where it goes down, and then you come around and you show your high spots. So you lock it down with the hold down, tap it in the high spot and turn it, find another little high spot, a little less tap, and that looks pretty good. Well, maybe a little bit more. There's really not a lot to it. As long as you've got a parallel plane to the surface that you're holding it down to, and you spin it and it stays within that plane, it's pretty straight. And you can see here, it looks pretty good. Like I said, these don't have to be exactly perfect, but fairly easy. Now you're probably thinking that's not really an accurate way of doing it, but for a job like this where they just need to be pretty straight, they don't need to be exactly, plus or minus 10 thousandths of straightness or anything. They just need to be visually straight, because the customer knows that they're going to get destroyed again, and they'll probably come back and get cut and re-welded on and all this fun stuff. So for me, as long as when I put it in my drill to sand it on the sander, it spins straight, that's good enough for me, and it seems to be good enough for them too. So hopefully you learned a little bit with this one, and just realize that just seeing a plane and lining something up with a straight plane can get you really actually pretty straight. So hopefully this can help you on a future job, and we'll catch you on the next one. I didn't plug that in. Process, and this little one of the... Jonathan just sent me a text. Oh. And Riggs is up. So we'll come back to this later. The bigger thing is, what do you look at and what do you look for when you're spinning the part around on your V-block? Let's set what... Seriously?